Let's get to the on-chain metrics, analysis of Bitcoin for the week, and some trade entries. Hey everyone, hope everyone had a great Mother's Day this past weekend, and I hope you guys are excited for a new week of trading with us. We have a lot to discuss for the week in terms of on-chain metrics and market sentiment, and if you guys are new here, we do a weekly analysis of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other altcoins every week. We also have a fairly large winning streak going on right now in our trading room, and our group is completely free. We even got other members doing pretty well in our Discord. The link is in the description down below, so check that out if you guys are interested. I'm also really excited to announce that I have recently passed another prop firm assessment and have gained access to another trading account with 200k worth of capital. I've been trading this account and currently have a 84% win rate overall. If you're interested in me opening up this portfolio live to you guys, let me know. And please consider subscribing, and I'll work on creating some content for you guys in terms of live trading and possibly even maybe some content going through another assessment step by step and just how I approach my trading day to day. And as always, we'll provide timestamps for you guys' convenience so you guys can easily navigate to the sections that interest you the most. So without further ado, let's get started here. So we're going to take a quick look at the liquidity heat map, as we like to trade alongside large institutions, whales, and larger investors, and the heat map acts almost as price magnets, as these larger players require more liquidity to really effectively move their capital around. So we've been eyeing this level right here at around 26k for our target in terms of a price sweep and some sort of accumulation for larger players. Notice how price almost came down to that large amount of liquidity before moving up. And I mentioned in our Discord that I'm not quite convinced that we are actually on our move up until we sweep out all of this liquidity. We've also been eyeing the zone around 23k, and we've marked this out on our charts, and we'll get to that shortly here. The next metric I want to cover is the liquidation levels for Bitcoin. And as I always mention, before we see a move up, you want to see a swipe of liquidity in that same direction. And what I mean by that is, if you want to take a long trade, you want to see a lot of leveraged long players swept out before you take your position. And you can see that we actually did take out a fairly large amount of leveraged long players. And in my opinion, I want to see a larger wipe of long positions before we see a real move to the upside here. And likely pricing just kind of zigzag here to build up liquidity on both sides before some sort of manipulative move to really wipe out a substantial amount of liquidity before moving the markets towards the intended direction. And as we like to trade alongside larger investors, we like to see the number of addresses with balances greater than 10k and just kind of keep up to date with what they're doing. And this divergence is definitely something you want to see, where we have whale addresses increasing as price action is moving down. So what this metric is telling me is that we might have a smaller move down before we actually see our move up. And we want to see whale addresses starting to decrease as price action is going up. We want to see divergence in that direction to really confirm a move to the upside here. So now to get to our analysis of Bitcoin, you can see that I have all the liquidity zones mapped out. And these are really our areas of interest. I'm looking for price action to come back down here to tap into the zone of liquidity and this bullish order block before we really see our up thrust move into any of these zones of liquidity. You know, it's possible that we can just hit this zone of liquidity here and continue ranging before we actually see our real sign of weakness and our move up. And if you guys aren't confused when I say sign of weakness, I'll get to our Wyckoff theory here. So we've been covering this idea of Wyckoff distribution, where we have our uptrend, we've built up our preliminary supply, had our buying climax, our automatic reaction, which was this down move, our secondary test of the buying climax. And after you range here, you want to see your sign of weakness before a real move up. And you always want to see a tap into some sort of order block where institutions, whales, and larger investors are able to fill up their orders before we see our upthrust here. According to Wyckoff distribution, the second upthrust after distribution doesn't have to occur, and you know, we can see weakness and retesting the last points of supply before a move down. We definitely do not have to tap into a order block before we see our move up. So it's definitely a possibility that we do see our upthrust here, some ranging, and then when we test our last points of supply, we will actually be testing this zone and this zone. So this is also a theory. We're just gonna have to really see how price action plays out. But this gives us a good general idea of how price action is going to react in this period of distribution. But for me, if I want to switch my positions to net long, I want to have some sort of confirmation first. So if we get back to our charts here, I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. So we have been clearing highs on the lower time frames, and I'm looking for price action to retest some of these zones of demand. And if we're pretty strong here and moving up, and we actually clear this high and close a candle above this high, then I will be looking to go long here and looking for more of a short-term position up into these areas of high liquidity. But without confirmation, I am pretty hesitant to switch my positions into long positions. So currently I'm still short on Bitcoin, although I am long on some altcoins as they've entered some areas of interest for me. So for this week on Bitcoin, this is just kind of my idea. Definitely this high is what I'm looking at in terms of what needs to hold. If price action looks pretty strong here and is accumulating, and we see our move up, I definitely will enter a long position. But if we're looking fairly weak, then I'm just gonna continue holding my short positions until we enter our order block here. Tap into a lot of this liquidity down here around 25K. Something also to consider are our moving averages. This blue line is our 50-day moving average, where this purple line is our 10-week moving average. This is a fairly good gauge of momentum, and you can see that this is actually kind of lining up with this area. So if we can actually flip the 50-day moving average, then we are looking fairly bullish, and our trade entry will look something like this, where our stop would be below one of these swing lows, where our targets would be in these areas of high liquidity. But in terms of targets, we like to just take what the market gives us. You know, if price action is just continuing to run and is looking strong, then I'm just gonna continue holding and adding to my long position. If we trigger on the VWAP for the week, we're gonna start to develop the weekly value area. And as that develops, I will be updating my trading room, and I'll look to give you guys another update here on YouTube probably towards the end of the week. But we have the previous week deviation in this area as well. So this is a fairly high area of rejection. Honestly, my conviction is that we are still short, and if you guys haven't entered a short position yet, then I would definitely look for a short somewhere in this area of interest, as this level is a pretty clear level of invalidation for long or short. So this is a pretty good area of interest to look for a position. You know, I believe a lot of the safer plays are when you do have clear invalidation of long or short. For me, if I was gonna go short here, I definitely would wait for 3 confirmations where we have our move, our sweep, and our tap of supply. And this would be my short entry, just like this, with a stop above whatever the sweeping candle was. And if you guys want these type of callouts live, definitely do check out the trading room. It's 100% free. I just really enjoy doing this stuff and teaching people, so definitely do check that out. There's no catch to it. If we flip over to the monthly VWAP, the VWAP level is also creeping up around this area, which is another point of resistance as well. So possibly entering even on this VWAP is good, with a swing above this high, with a stop above this swing high, and just kind of looking for a pretty good RR short here. We have a risk to reward ratio of around 7. You know, if you want to keep your stop a little bit more or a little less sensitive, you know, you can kind of place it up here, which will give you RR of 2.2. Not as good, but definitely would be a safer play here. So yeah, my update for the week, I'm still fairly bearish. I'm not convinced that we are on our way up until we tap into this order block. But you know, if we do flip this level, then I definitely am gonna be bullish. And by flipping, I do want to see candle closes above it. Wicks, a lot of wicks like this is not going to convince me, but if we do see a candle close above this, then I definitely will be bullish here and looking to flip my positions. Our entries are pretty pinpoint using our trading strategy, so if you guys are interested in learning just how we trade here at Coin Insights, definitely do check out the trading room. Like I said, it's 100% free. I'm just trying to build a community of traders. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, do check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick analysis of Bitcoin. And if you guys want more in-depth analysis, please let me know. I try to keep these, you know, fairly quick and just kind of give you guys the meat of the meat of the idea. So yeah, let me know. I can definitely give you guys, you know, more info. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave me a like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I have a Ethereum update coming for you guys soon this week, and a few other altcoins. So do keep a lookout for that if you guys are interested. And if there are any specific altcoins you guys are interested in, then drop a comment down below and I'll look into that. I appreciate you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.